I'm somebody with a background in education. Started off being a student of chemistry, moved on to being a student of education, then on to doing a PhD in evaluation of community action programs. And that took me into the whole world of social enterprises, of how communities work and so on. And that stuck with me. And it's still one of my passions to ensure that the third sector is a recipient, if you like, or is in a position that is fair in relation to other sectors in society and benefits and thrives and develops. That's what I've been driven by, but also I now have 7 grandchildren, so they drive me as well, drive me bonkers at times, but they're amazing, and it's amazing how you kind of keep younger in your outlook with having wee people all around you and so on. So that's one of the uses of my time. I'm a director in a number of charities, which I value, and also I try to play golf and cycle. And I have a stick right now from my last golf outing when I twisted my knee. So, you know, but it's a good mix of everything. I think I've got a reasonably good work-life balance. I'm married, I've got 3 kids. The 3 kids are growing up, they're doing fine, and they've produced these 7 grandchildren. So, you know, that's all good. I joined VASLan before it was a board. It was a transition board from the 4 organisations that were due to come together to form this new entity called VASLan that nobody knew anything about. It was a government initiative to find a single body that the government could talk to in every local authority, to talk to the third sector, because otherwise how do you talk to the third sector? So that was actually a very, very painful transition, because you were asking organisations that are well established, all had their own boards, to disappear. Very hard. And the threat was, I'll call it a threat, if you don't form this new organisation, the funding that we traditionally give you for organisations will not happen. So, you know, you can see that the climate there was anything but a positive climate. You're talking about jobs, you're talking about roles in the community, you're talking about established relationships all being disrupted. So that was a difficult time. VASLan has done amazingly well in coming from there to where we are now, a confident organisation, growing, developing, employing more folk, being really confident with our partners, and not going to be influenced where we don't want to be influenced. So all good. You know, South Lanarkshire's great, and maybe not too many folk would tell you this. I live in Rutherglen, and I'm involved with an organisation called Healthy and Happy Community Development Trust in Rutherglen and Cambuslang, an amazing organisation, but it's a reflection of the people in South Lanarkshire, and I find that across the whole board. When I worked in education, my beat was South Lanarkshire. So I got to know all the wee villages, the towns, and I got this sense of the folk of South Lanarkshire almost being folk who identified with the life in South Lanarkshire. You know, quite a strong community, sense of community, and that's great. And we have such great assets in South Lanarkshire. We've got great, you know, rural hinterland in Clydesdale. We've got great wee towns, marvellous wee villages, and of course, we are, like everyone else, subject to the whims of the economy. So, you know, it's struggle time right now. And even more, we need VASLan and the third sector. Those assets are out there. Those people that every day, day in, day out, are giving their time, their energy to help others. And it showed so strongly during the pandemic. So these are the things I think of in South Lanarkshire.